Hello everybody, and welcome to the fourth installment of the Concerned Citizen Gear Setup. Now, this is by request of Adam from Patreon. I now have a couple $10 patrons, but at the time, Adam was the only $10 patron, which means you get to choose a video for the month. And he wanted to see the fourth installment of the Concerned Citizen Gear Setup. So here it is. He knows it's getting published today, so does everybody else if you watched my last video on the Glock 19, Glock 43 frame mods. So here we go. We've been over first line, second line, third line gear, right? We even went over bug out bag. Now we're talking about ammo, magazines, and ammo storage. I figured all three could be into one informative video. I mean, after all, that's what this entire series is about, is it's about having a series that people can go to for all the information involved with this sort of stuff, as opposed to bouncing all over the interweb. Now, let's start with magazines. How many magazines should I have? How many magazines should you have? Now, I base this opinion off of well over 30 years of shooting. I base this opinion off of teaching people for the last 5+ years pretty consistently, and off of other various personal experience. I used to, and some people like Jayhawk, who's my newest, big shout out to Jayhawk, newest $10 patron. Jayhawk remembers when I used to say, have at least double what you carried, right? So if you are a concealed carrier, let's say you're watching these videos strictly for entertainment, and you're just the average concealed carrier, I think that this magazine part still applies to you. If you carry one in your pistol and one in a spare mag pouch or just in your pocket, then you should have 4 mags. Loaded, ready to go. 4 mags, minimum 4 magazines. I believe that to be a little low. And the more I thought about it over the years, I thought that was just low across the board, because I said the same thing about your battle rig, your plate carrier. If you carried 3 or 4 in your plate carrier plus 1 in your rifle, then that was 4. That's only 8 mags. That's not enough. I've switched it to at least a minimum of 3. That's how many I think you should have. 3 times the amount that you can carry or normally do carry. For instance, if you carry 3 on your plate carrier, 1 in your rifle, that's 4. That is 12. If you carry 3 in your plate carrier, 1 in your rifle, 1 in your belt, that's 4, 5. That is 15 rifle mags. If you carry 1 on your belt, you're just a concealed carrier, you carry 1 mag, spare mag on your belt or pocket, 1 in your pistol, then it's 6. And that's really where I think a comfortable number is. A minimum of 6 pistol mags, assuming you're basic concealed carrier, and a minimum of triple or 3 times the amount that you can carry on your rig. Now, why do I say that? Because outside of operator error, the 2 major most common malfunctions with a firearm involve magazines and ammo. And if you're using quality ammo, that is almost a non-position. That's almost even a non-problem, which leaves just magazines. Magazines wear out, magazines break, feed lips have problems. Maybe you didn't seat the mag all the way, which I realize tap rack tends to take care of that, but sometimes strip and reload takes care of it too, just as easily. But ammo and magazines are the 2 biggest problems when it comes to the function of a firearm. Therefore, the more fixes you have to that problem, the better off you are. You don't open a toolbox and a guy has a 9/16 box end wrench. No, he has a 9/16 box end wrench. He has a short socket, a deep well socket, a 1/2-inch drive impact socket. He has a gear wrench, and he has an adjustable crescent wrench. Why? Because there are several 9/16, or there are several 3/8 bolts with 9/16 heads in various positions that you need to get that stuff into. Your guns should be no different. Have multiple fixes for the same problem. Second reason is, if you are prepping for like an SHTF, if you are prepping because this is a concerned citizen, you're watching this because you know something's coming, you don't know what, but you don't want to be Alex Jones about it, that if something happens, if something breaks down, you have your team, or at least your immediate family, that as you're going through ammo, as you're using what you have in your kit, not only do you have the spares there to automatically reload everything and restock your kit and rifle, you also have somebody there reloading mags. They have a job to do, and everybody needs a job to do. So, magazines, 3 times the amount of what you can carry. Again, that's if you wear 8 rifle mags on your kit and you have 1 in your rifle, that is 9. You need to have, in my opinion, 27 mags loaded at all times. Now for me, when it comes to loaded magazines, I probably take it overboard more than a lot of people. For instance, this giant ammo can back here has something like 60, I think it holds 60 or 65 loaded Tapco AK mags. There's a whole bunch of magazines, a whole bunch of things that you don't see around here, and you'll see us a little bit more of it as we go. But you know, I have magazines loaded everywhere. I have, for 3 guns, I have well over 100 magazines total, which brings me to ammo. How much ammo should we be storing? Now, contrary to popular belief, ammo is not expensive. Shooting is expensive. Ammo itself is not expensive. The reason shooting ammo is expensive is because it's double the cost. You have to buy it and then rebuy it to bring it back. So $20 or 20 cents a round turns into 40 cents a round really quick. But buying ammo is not expensive. It really, really, really isn't, if you want to do it. Now, not only, in my mind, should you have all of your magazines loaded, no matter what that is. I have several thousand rounds loaded in magazines through various calibers. But not only should you have all of your magazines loaded, I believe you should have a minimum of 1,000 expendable rounds per year. Meaning that if nothing else happens, you could waste 1,000 rounds a year in practice and training. Minimum. Absolute minimum. So there's 1,000 rounds per caliber. Not per caliber, I'm sorry, I should not have said that, because that doesn't account for shotgun and bolt action rifles, because most people don't shoot those that much. But when it comes to your primary fighting rifle, when it comes to your duty pistol, minimum of 1,000 rounds per caliber, ready to rock and roll, and ready to be gone every year. Now on top of that 1,000 rounds that you're going to use for training, that is not stored ammo, that is used ammo. On top of that 1,000 rounds that you're going to use for training and practice, I believe you should have another 2,000 rounds in magazines, or not in magazines, but stored on top of what you have stored in magazines already. Now that seems like a lot. To some people that seems like a lot. This is 1,000 rounds of 223. That's a pretty unimpressive box. I mean, that's kind of little. It's not hard to store ammo. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room if you do it right. And it's not extremely expensive if you really want to do it. And what I mean by if you really want to do it is, do you smoke? Which is more important to you? Smoking or buying ammo or prepping? How much was your last cell phone? Did you buy the $100 one that you could buy at Walmart? Or did you buy the $1,000 one that you really didn't need, just because you wanted the coolest one? Which one's more important? How many games have you purchased for your game system? How many pointless drives in your vehicle have you taken, and so on and so on and so on? Do you shop every day? That's a big one. Do you go grocery shopping every day? Do you once a week, bi-weekly, whatever? There are an endless number of things people can do to save money if they really, really want to do this. If you don't really want to do this, that's fine. Be honest with yourself about it. But doing this is not that expensive if you really want to do it. So buying ammo and stocking ammo, minimum 2,000 rounds stocked in cans or whatever on top of what you have in magazines, and then 1,000 rounds ready to go for the year for minimum for training and practice. By the way, if 1,000 rounds a year seems like a lot of money to just throw down range, how do you, number one, how do you put a price on your own personal security? How do you put a price on having yourself as minimally trained and practiced up as you can? That's first and foremost. And at 20 cents a round, which is kind of an average, is what I say, I buy, I think this was 19 cents a round. I buy steel case 9mm for 15 cents a round. But at 20 cents a round, that's 60 cents a day to have 1,000 rounds a year. 60 cents a day. If you can't afford that, you've made some pretty horrible life decisions. Now, I did say that I excluded shotguns, shotgun ammo, and your bolt action, like 30-06 and 3. Well, I would say, unless your bolt action rifle rounds are also the same caliber as your fighting rifle, your primary rifle, then that's obviously doesn't count. But for your bolt action rifle and for your shotgun, 500 rounds, it's, that's such just a roller coaster number, because some people shoot those far more than others. Some people think they're snipers, and so they talk online about how they're going to shoot somebody at 1,000 yards all day long, and it's just not going to happen. So for those guys, I would double it, because you're going to miss a lot. But 500 rounds, maybe 1,000 rounds, either way, 1,000 rounds of 12 gauge is really, really inexpensive. And then you get into your bigger, your bigger bore rounds like 308, 30-06, and then you go up and up and up, obviously up to like, 50 BMG and stuff like that. You're talking, anywhere from $25, $35, cents to 50 cents, 75 cents a round, on up to $3 and $4 a round. So, just be careful there, because that's when you do get into giant expenses when it comes to ammo storage. But I would say for your bolt action, your long range rifles, and your shotguns, 500 rounds should be fine. All right, so now we've talked about tons of magazines, we've talked about tons of ammo. Now where are we going to put all this crap, right? And this is where I bring all this into play. So, these, I really, really like these. These are from MTM. They are the 4-can ammo crate. They are plastic. They're like an ABS plastic, high polymer plastic. What I do with these is, so these are generally the equivalent to a 30 cal ammo can, right? A steel 30 cal ammo can. And they hold, for instance, these hold right around 1,000 to 1,200 rounds of 9mm loose. And that's how I store it in here, is loose. Right around 1,000 to 1,200 rounds loose. And then in this one's actually half full of ammo, and then the rest is 6 or 8 loaded fun sticks. And that's stored. That's storage. That's it. That's all I have in there, is that stored. And then over here, I have the bottom half. The bottom has some ammo in it. 50 round drum, Glock drum stored. Oh, maybe there's not any ammo at the bottom of that. But either way. So these are really nice. You can take these out, pull them out. They have handles on the sides. Check them out. I'll put a link on rttgunsgear.com. It'll be affiliate link. Help my channel out if you decide to go that route. These are awesome. I love these things. I have 2 of them. I'm getting a third one when I get the chance. I haven't really needed the third one yet. You'll know why here in a sec. Now, with that said, I said that these hold 1,000 to 1,200 rounds. That same goes for the 30 cal steel military ammo can, or surplus ammo can. These hold 1,000 to 1,200 rounds of 9mm. They hold about 600 rounds of 223, and that's loose. If you meticulously stack it, which I'm sure somebody out there would do that, but if you meticulously stack it, it will hold more than that. I don't know that number. I don't have that kind of patience. But so the 30 cal cans, here's plastic version, steel version. They both hold right around 1,000 rounds to 1,200 rounds. So you fill one of these up, which is really easy. There's your training ammo for the year if that's your minimal amount. So here's a 50 cal ammo can. You can see the difference in the 30 cal and 50 cal, right? They do get heavy. There's 50 cal ammo can. This one is labeled 7.62 by 39, and that's what's in it. It will hold right around 1,000 rounds of 7.62 by 39. Are you seeing a pattern here? 1,000 rounds, 1,000 rounds, 1,000 rounds. Really easy, 1,200 rounds. Really easy to keep track of stuff. Really easy to keep an accurate number of things. It'll hold right around 1,000 rounds, just under probably, of the 7.62 by 39. But I of course have 2,000 rounds loaded in mags in this, which is a 30mm ammo can. This is going to be for bulk storage like this. You don't want to fill this with handfuls of loose ammo. I don't know that you'll be able to pick it up. I mean, this is heavy as it is. I don't know that you'll be able to pick it up. I couldn't tell you how much ammo it would hold. But 50 cal cans, they are useful for also loading or storing loose ammo. Right around 1,000 rounds of 7.62 by 39, which is what this is, and right around 1,000 or 1,200 to 1,300 rounds of 223.556. We'll go into one of these. Loose again. Back here I have the, by the way, you guys have seen this in other videos. I want to give a big shout out to Laser One Engraving. I will put a link to their Instagram in the description of the video. They're the ones who I got this from. They're out of Phoenix or the Phoenix area. Cool company. And they've been really active on my Instagram account ever since we met. And so yeah, check them out. But in this one, I have these two loaded with ammo, and these two loaded. They have eight loaded AR mags in each one. Of course, everything's numbered and everything else. Again, these are sort of a grab and go SHTF problem solver here. If you load them up with mags and ammo like I have with these, you can grab them, and go, as opposed to if you have 50 ammo cans full of ammo and you're making trip in and out of the truck, in and out of the house, blah 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 blah. This is emergency case, go. I have 2,000 rounds plus or minus, plus 16 loaded magazines. This covers everything I just said right here. Everything I just said, this covers for my AR. This covers well over everything I just said for my pistol. You see where I'm going with this. But these exist too. Don't be afraid of the plastic ammo cans. I don't know what to call this the equivalent of. I guess it would be the equivalent of the 50 cal ammo can, but it holds far more. I have had, I believe it is this one, I have had this one stocked full to where I could barely close the lid of 9mm. That's, I think, was right around 3,500 rounds, and it didn't break. The handle didn't break off or anything. It flexed. I don't know that I would have wanted to put 4,000 rounds in it, but whatever this thing held to the brim, it held up to. With that said, severely freezing cold or severely hot temperatures, these might not hold up as well. I use these for indoor storage. I don't take them out to the field very often. But this is the one that I have a whole bunch of different 308 ammo in. That's just loose stuff in that bag. but these are a good option, and depending on where you're buying them from, sometimes these are also the less expensive option from the 50 cal steel cans. These stack, I think, a little bit nicer. They are a little bit more comfortable to carry. They have an ergonomic handle. They're a little lighter weight themselves, just as an empty unit. When you're buying these, they have a brand new O-ring in them to seal it, whereas the surplus 50 cal ammo cans may or may not even have an O-ring in it, and if it does, it may or may not be any good. You can always go to Walmart and buy their 50 cal ammo cans. They're not bad. In fact, this is one of them. And it's not bad. This is one of them, and it's not bad. This is one that I put loose 7.62 by 39 when I want to take a smaller amount. Sorry. When I want to take a smaller amount with me. And lastly, when it comes to, we've talked about how much ammo, how many mags, how to store, different kind of storage bins and containers. Feel free to ask me any other questions about that stuff. I know that I didn't cover every type of can that imaginable. But last but not least is magazine numbering. I believe once you get into a certain number of magazines, if you're the person that is stocking just the minimal, right? I would argue that you're not as concerned as you think you are. But if you're stocking just the minimal, you probably aren't going to have this problem. But if you're someone like me and others who have hundreds of magazines and thousands of rounds loaded in these magazines, you are also likely training and shooting a lot. And when you number mags, if I have a malfunction with magazine number 2, I record that. Magazine number 2 of my AR mags had a failure to feed. If I can remember that it was round 10 throughout shooting it, then I'll also mark down that it was round 10. Otherwise, it's magazine 2. I'll make sure magazine 2 comes out with me next time, and the time after that, and time after that. Maybe it was just needed cleaned. Maybe it was a once in a lifetime thing. Maybe I never have a malfunction with it again. But if I continually have malfunctions with magazine number 2, I throw magazine number 2 away. I put a screwdriver through it so nobody else can use it and hurt themselves with it on accident, or shoot it or destroy it in some way, shape, or form. Throw it away, and magazine 2 no longer exists. It will eventually get replaced. And then another 2 will be on another magazine. I do the same thing for AK mags as well. This one's number 60, right? This one's number 60. That one under it's number 55. Here's a slab side. This one's 59. What I don't do it very often with is pistol mags, and I need to start doing it with pistol mags. I need to practice a little bit more what I preach with pistol mags. I'm getting more and more pistol mags, therefore I do need to do it. So that's it. Episode number 4, Concerned Citizen Gear Setup. Ammo, magazines, and storage, and a little bit of organization. Thanks for listening, everybody. Don't forget to check out patreon.com/RTTGunsGear. This one is for Adam, a $10 patron. He's the one that wanted to see this today. So here you go, Adam. You got it. Also check out RTTGunsGear.com. That's where you can find all kinds of Amazon affiliate links for the stuff I use. And these MTM ammo cans, I'm assuming Amazon still has them. That's where I bought them from. I will today try to get an affiliate link on the website for these. Check them out. If you like them, please use that affiliate link. Help support my channel. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening.